Brown, he's a wide receiver that Claiborne mentioned in his newspaper article, which I have a copy of, by the way, for you, in case you don't have that. That's what he put out.
Are you ready? Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2.
Hi, this is Bob testing. This is Bob testing. 1, 2, 3.
Me? This is Danny testing 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool.
Good. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Greenville Lions football here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium. I'm Bob Muty alongside Danny Hernandez and videographer Rebecca Hernandez for the third GEUS football broadcast to be live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. GEUS appreciates your patience with the technical aspects of this production and wants every viewer to know that we are working hard every week to make the broadcast better. Tonight's contest features the 9-5A Division II Mount Pleasant Tigers against our Greenville Lions. Another battle of the cats. Mount Pleasant comes into tonight sporting a 2-0 record with impressive wins against Sherman and Wiley East. They feature a strong rushing attack led by junior Ed Wilder. In last Friday's 24-7 victory over Sherman, the team rushed for 306 yards and passed for only 61. So, Danny, what do you think the Lions need to do tonight to slow down this Tiger running game?
Bob, I think this game is going to be all about control. Like you said before, the Mount Pleasant Tigers have rushed for 306 yards, and that's 306 hard yards to gain. And so this game is going to be a battle on the line. And I think it's the winner's going to be the outcome of who plays better on that line. So it's going to be up to the Greenville Lions defense to really hold their own on the line tonight and control the ball.
Game of ball control and time of possession, I guess, huh?
That's right, Bob.
Okay, in my conversation with Greenville coach Darren Duke earlier today, he indicated there will be some adjustments to the defensive scheme. Junior Jackson Cathy will replace Caleb Johnson in the backfield, thus allowing Johnson's speed to be better utilized on offense while taking advantage of Cathy's tackling ability. Defensive end Michael Surface will also play almost exclusively on defense at outside linebacker and turn the H-back position over to Emiliano Portillo. Expect to see Davian Wallace at linebacker all game unless needed at running back for goal line situations. As for the visiting Tigers, Coach Duke said they run a two-back double tight end offense and try to run the ball down your throat. Quarterback Keller Thompson isn't much of a run threat but uses play action to hit open receivers like Zay Brown downfield. The Lions, on the other hand, feature a balanced offense led by quarterback Brandon Stevens and wide receivers Miles Denson and Sean Brown. In the season's first two games, Greenville is averaging 197 yards rushing and 157 yards passing. Danny, do you think Caleb Johnson will see a lot more balls thrown his way tonight?
Yeah, I think we'll see Caleb Johnson make some big plays tonight. It's like you said before, he's going to be exclusively playing offense. They're going to reserve all his energy to play on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to be, they're going to depend on him to do basically everything he can to win this game for the Lions.
Well, they've got to get him downfield deep and use that speed.
They got to. They got to use his. They got to use his size. They got to use his speed, and so that's why they're exclusively using him on offense to do that for us today.
On offense, Duke expects junior offensive tackle Caleb Leia to see action for the first time since the White House scrimmage. Leia has been dealing with a knee issue and his absence has affected the consistency of the offensive line play. The defense should be healthier tonight as well with the return of defensive tackle Jaden Champion. The stocky 250-pound junior is a tough run stopper whose name you may hear called often tonight. He'll line up next to junior Deshaun Grigsby, one of Greenville's leading tacklers, who excels at pressuring the quarterback. So in the final preseason tune-up, Coach Duke is looking to see how some of the younger players perform in game situations in order to put the best team on the field next Friday in Ennis for the district opener. Any comments on Ennis or on tonight's game, Dan?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a battle like we said before. It's gonna be a battle on the line. Greenville, what we didn't see last week is a lot of missed tackles, and so these Greenville Lions have to tackle better this week. It's gonna be a run game up the middle. They're gonna be running the ball down your throat, and it's gonna be smash mouth football tonight, Bob. These Greenville Lions got to tackle better. They've got to rally to the ball, and they got to make big stops, or else these Tigers are going to be making big plays tonight.
Well, that's one of the things that Coach Duke told me earlier today about emphasis this past week has been on tackling. He doesn't put a whole lot of stock in one-on-one tackling. He wants the defenders to fly to the ball and do some gang tackling. So we'll see if that plays out tonight against Mount Pleasant's Tigers. Just a word of thanks to Chicken Express and Peddlers for the press box goodies tonight. I participated in the chicken strips, and they were pretty tasty. All right, let's talk about the starting lineups, Dan. For Greenville defensively, how's that going to line up tonight?
All right, so like you said before, we're going to have Michael Surface, number 7, exclusively on defense. Next to him at left tackle is going to be Deshaun Grigsby. At right tackle, it's going to be Sincere Jones, and next to him at right end is going to be John Hill. Behind on the left side, we're going to have Kenton Anderson. Next to him is Giancarlos Belton, and then Davian Wallace as a right backer. At right corner, like we said before, Caleb Johnson, who normally plays a right backer, is going to be exclusively playing offense. So we're going to see number 22 Jackson Cathy come out and play and take that spot for him. Left safety is going to be Elijah Wolford, who had a big game last week, made some pretty good key tackles last week. So I'm expecting to see a lot of left safety Elijah Wolford come down and make some good tackles for us. At the free safety position, we're going to have number 23 Garrett Phillips, and lastly at right safety Josh Luna, who has also made some pretty great big plays last week, covering the big tight end from that last week's team.
Well, the thing about Josh Luna, Dan, is he's about 6'5", so he offers good size in that defensive backfield, which is generally a rarity in high school. Let's take a look at the offense now for the Lions. Starting at left tackle tonight will be junior Greg Just, number 76. At left guard, number 70, Alex Rodriguez. At center, senior Sam Martin, number 61. At right guard, number 62, Daniel Bueno, also a senior. And right tackle, number 51, Daniel Jimenez, also a senior. At the outside receiving position, we have number 6, Jaquez Davis. At the other outside position, number 11, Sean Brown. At H-back, we'll have Emiliano Portillo for most of the evening in place of Surface, as Dan mentioned. Miles Denson will be slot back, number 3. And the running backs tonight will be probably Hugh Pitts getting most of the action, backed up by number 21, O.J. Johnson. Brandon Stevens, of course, is your quarterback, number 4. The holder tonight in the placements is number 23, Garrett Phillips. The snapper is number 30, Jeremiah McCallum. These guys are pretty important. And in the kicking game, number 80, sophomore Archer O'Neill will do the placements. So that's what it looks like for the Lions. Let's take a look at the playmakers for Mount Pleasant. The starting quarterback will be number 12, Keller Thompson. He's a junior, and he's primarily a threat in the passing game, although, as Dan mentioned, they don't do a lot of passing. The primary running backs will be, first of all, number 14, Ed Wilder. He'll be joined in the backfield by number 3, Caleb Jones, and sometimes number 4, Jalen Williams. And the big receivers, and I mean big, like 6'4" and 6'5", number 11, Zay Brown, a senior, and number 13, a junior, Will Hills. So those are the guys that we'll probably be talking about as we watch Mount Pleasant's offense on what turned out to be a beautiful night. The sun actually came out during pregame, Dan. I was glad to see that.
Yeah, Bob, it's going to be a great night for football. It's pretty warm out tonight. It's been warm. It's been a little bit warmer this week, so it's going to be a warm night tonight. Looks like we are at 73 degrees right now in the sky, and here comes out the Greenville Lions running out to the end zone as they take a knee. At that end, at the side of the end zone there, everyone's, I guess, saying a quick prayer before they get to our sideline. But Dave Campbell's Texas Football notes the 2 to watch tonight is going to be wide receiver Hills making big plays, and it says this interior lineman, last name Bird. I don't see a Bird here on the roster. But he's saying that this interior lineman, 6'2", 290, is going to help anchor the offensive line.
6'2", 290, yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Well, there's the coach for Mount Pleasant is a guy by the name of Richie Pinkard, and there are two Pinkards listed on the roster. One is junior Lane Pinkard, who's a quarterback. He'll wear number 6, and he's the holder on the placements. The other is number 72, Reed Pinkard, a center, and he looks like he probably goes about 230. So they've got a pretty good size offensive line. Dan and I were watching the guys in the end zone before things got underway, and they've got some pretty beefy offensive linemen.
Yeah, got some big boys there. We were saying they don't look too muscly, but they look like they're hard to push. So that's probably why they're rushing for 306 yards per game, averaging 306 yards per game. So it's gonna be a tough battle. Looks like we have the colors being shown now.
Yeah, the junior ROTC is on the far side of the field, the color guard. And with 3:28 remaining before the start of the game, they're approaching midfield, and we'll have very shortly the playing of our national anthem. All right, the Greenville Lions tonight are dressed out in all red with red helmets. Mount Pleasant will be all white with black helmets and gold numbers, which I think will be pretty easy for us to read. They're kind of gold and black, so I don't think we'll have any trouble reading numbers tonight, Dan.
I don't think so, unless they're moving too quick for us to see. But yeah, it looks like we're not going to have too much trouble looking at those numbers, Bob, today. And looks like we're going to have the captains come out now for the coin flip.
Yeah, Miles Denson's going to represent the Lions, and my eyesight's not good enough to tell me who's coming in from the other side.
Number 63.
63 for Mount Pleasant
Oh,
is not listed. Maybe that's the Bird kid. No, maybe it's 53. Anyway, the referees are approaching. Difficult to see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Looks like 53, Bob.
Dan will keep us advised as to how the flip goes. Let's take a look at the around the area a little bit here. We've got some games tonight that are of particular interest. Down in over in Farmersville, the 4-0 Quinlan Panthers will take on the Farmersville Farmers. In Whitewright, Lone Oak travels to play the Whitewright Tigers. Bowles will take on Cumbies Trojans. Commerce Tigers will be at Prospero. Greenville Christian School will play at Fannondale up in Ladonia. And probably the key game for me, Dan, is the Sunnyvale Caddo Mills game.
Yeah, Bob, and as the Greenville Lions look to get the ball first here, looks like the Tigers have won the coin toss, so they deferred. And Greenville Lions will get the ball here to start off the first quarter of the game. Yeah, but the Sunnyvale Raiders and the Cattle Mill Foxes, get a listen to this, folks. This quarterback here, his name is Townley. was written. It says here, Townley was built for tough 4A Player of the Week last week for totaling 557 total yards of offense. 557 total yards of offense in a 50-28 victory against Aubrey. This season, Townley has passed for 1,200 yards and thrown 12 touchdowns,
That's incredible, Dan.
completing 57 of 75. But that's not it, Bob. He's also ran for 601 yards, and looks like the kick is about to go off.
Yeah, it's a pooch kick by number 81, J.D. Mendoza, for taken down at the 20-yard line and brought down almost immediately is Jaquez Davis.
But getting back to this Townley player on Caddo, has rushed for 601 yards and 12 touchdowns. So he has 24 touchdowns in 4 games this season, Bob.
That's incredible. And they're playing right next door, right over here in Caddo Mills tonight. So
15 minutes down the road.
yeah, if you're interested in seeing a game other than the Lions, head on over to Caddo Mills. Looks like Wade Moses, number 69, is going to start at left guard for the Lions as they line up at their own 21-yard line. Stevens gives to his running back, and it's Hugh Pitts, and he's upfield for about a gain of 6.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting off in that speedy set that Coach Duke had told you about.
Hugh Pitts is a junior coming off knee surgery, off season. We've got trips right, single receiver to the left. Martin snap to Stevens, again gives to Pitts. Pitts finds a little room, breaks a couple tackles, and he's up past first down yardage.
We see time and time again that Pitts is probably best breaking tackles, probably the best runner at breaking tackles and getting those yards, yards after been touched by a defensive player.
He's a pretty good sized running back, kind of unlike running backs in Greenville's past. Stevens now in I formation. Has his receiver to the right side. Nice gain upfield goes number 10. That's Caleb Johnson. So they got him started early like we had hoped.
Got him started early, and that was a good stiff arm to get the outside edge there. Get him a couple extra yards with that stiff arm.
Johnson picks up about 8 yards out to the 42-yard line. Let's make it the 41. It'll be 2nd and 2. Stevens takes the snap, looks left, and I believe that ball might have been tipped.
Looked like it was tipped, Bob.
Like nice defensive play by maybe number 94 or 99. One of those huge defenders. They got some huge guys on that defensive line, Dan.
They do got some big boys there, Bob.
99, I'm looking at him, Trey Emery. He's only a junior, but boy, judging from up here, he looks like he's about 6'4", weighs about 240.
Yep. Tramer is actually 6'2", weighs in about 285.
Wow. All right, so 3rd and 2. Pitts gets the handoff, and he maybe stops short of a first down. Try to take it off left tackle behind Greg Just and Wade Moses, and not much doing, so that's going to bring up 4th down. You know, in the ball control type offense, you almost think about going for it here, Dan.
Yeah, Bob, looks like it's about 4th and 1, so I'd definitely go for it here.
Well, they've just got to keep the ball out of the hands of Mount Pleasant, because when you turn it over to them with their ball control offense, they might just keep it for the rest of the quarter. All right, so they set up with an H-back this time. That's probably Portillo. Stevens is taking it left, and I believe he's going to come up short. Tried to work the left side again, and the Tigers stiffen, and they are going to get really good field position on the turnover on downs. Thought maybe we'd see some kind of an option there, but Stevens just took it on a keeper, and just not enough interference up front.
Yeah, the outside run, there's more that can go wrong on the outside run, more chance for the defense to blow the play up running outside. So now we're going to get a good look at the offense here.
And under center is Keller Thompson. He ends up to the one of 3 backs behind him. It's almost looked like a wishbone formation. And that was Jalen Williams on the carry. Stopped by the left side of the defensive line of Greenville. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 38-yard line of the Lions. Thompson underneath, pitches back, stumbles in the backfield. Number 3, that's Caleb Jones, and he just lost his footing and lost some yardage. So a break for the Lions defense.
Definitely a break for the Lions defense. Looks like they would have gone the outside edge and probably made a big play of that if he hadn't stumbled in the backfield.
Had two blockers out in front of him, and maybe Thompson was out there as well.
One of which, Trey Emery, number 99, was out there for a block. Looked like he was playing tight end there, Bob, so it's a big boy.
Big 99 is going both ways.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll call it 3rd and 9. Ball is placed just outside the 41-yard line for Mount Pleasant. Thompson back in the shotgun this time, throws out, looking for Caleb Jones, and it is incomplete. So that'll force a 4th down situation for Mount Pleasant. We'll see what they want to do.
Yeah, it looks like not a great start for both these teams. 4th and about 8 yards left for this Tigers offense to get a first down here. So let's see. This is where we need to see our consistent defense make big stops here.
Yeah, we'll credit both defenses on these first 2 drives. All right, we got trip receivers to the right. Thompson flips out. Ball is loose and picked out of the air by one of the Lions. Oh my goodness, that's a turnover as that ball popped out of the hands of the running back right into the hands of one of the Greenville defenders. Not sure who that was.
That was number 30. That was Jeremiah McCullum. Number 30, Jeremiah McCullum on that on that tipped.
What a huge break.
On that tipped I guess could we call that a pick, Bob?
No, you got to call it a fumble because it was a pitch out. It just popped up in the air off to the hands of the running back and just right conveniently into the stomach of McCallum. First down for the Lions. Hand off to Pitts. Pitts breaks a tackle and is upfield about 7 or 8 yards. Another good run by Hugh Pitts.
And a strong run, carrying the momentum of that last fumble recovery. The Lions look good now. Good energy to them coming out in this first play.
Well, the offensive line has definitely been a little bit more consistent here in opening holes up the middle for Pitts. Now we have running backs on either side of Stevens. Stevens fakes and loose. Stenson. Denson's loose. He's down to the 5. 10-5 touchdown.
You give
Miles Denson.
You give Miles Denson open green, he's going to make a play every time.
I got so excited I had him at the 5 and then I had him at the 10.
He teleported there, Bob.
Miles Denson with a handoff from Brandon Stevens takes it about, 30-some yards for the opening touchdown. 8:13 remain in the first quarter as Archer O'Neill lines up for the PAT. Garrett Phillips will be the holder. Jeremiah McCallum will be the deep snapper. Here comes A-Rod in at the guard spot. Still 12 seconds left on the play clock. There's a snap. There's a placement. The kick is up. And it's good. So O'Neill converts. And the Lions take an early 7-0 lead. The scoreboard had 13, but we only got 7.
Does the touchdown count for 2 today?
Well, it'd be nice if we get a 13-point lead here to start this game. All right, so we didn't do anything on the first series, but on the second series, after the turnover, the Lions convert on 2 plays.
And looks like the defensive line and offensive line both controlled the ball well in these second few drives here, Bob. And that's what we need to see from the rest of the team consistently. And if we do that, we can get away with the win, Bob.
A really good start for the Lions. 8:13 left here in the first quarter. T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. The wind beginning to blow. 73 degrees at kickoff time, as Dan mentioned. 70 degrees in the booth. I kind of wish it was a little bit warmer, frankly, but I think I can handle it.
Yeah,
maybe you'll have to lend me your jacket.
I might have to. Yeah, it's a good thing I brought my jacket. Last week you brought yours, and I was freezing.
All right, here's Archer's kickoff. It's down to about the 15-yard line, taken there, straight upfield. That looks like Mills, and Mills is tackled at the 35-yard line.
They need to rush down there a little bit faster there, Bob. There.
Like a pretty good defensive coverage play by Bryson Maps, number 59 for the Lions. So Mount Pleasant will start at their own 36-yard line. Keller Thompson, the junior QB, is in shotgun formation this time. Alongside him, one running back, and that's Ed Wilder, and he takes the handoff and he goes around the left side and is hit hard. Nice tackle over there by that number 16. No, I don't think it's 16. 15.
That's 15. That's number 15, Kadarian Johnson, on the tackle there.
Very nice play by Johnson. Just took his feet right out from underneath him after a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. Thompson takes the snap. Once again, hands off to Wilder. Wilder is, he was covered up in the backfield. We had 3 or 4 red shirts ready to tackle and couldn't bring him down, Dan.
Yeah, I've seen a few arm tackles there and just easy to get away with, and we need to do a better at tackling. He got 3 extra yards off that run.
Yeah, Jaden Maps, I think, was in there on that one, and
that would have been a loss for yards.
It sure would have been a loss. So, that's a good indication that maybe things are getting better with the penetration by that defensive line. 3rd down and 2 for Mount Pleasant. Hand off to, I think that was Williams. Williams is up close to 1st down yardage. Jalen Williams, the senior running back, takes the handoff from Thompson. And that will move the chains for Mount Pleasant. Ball is sitting firmly at the 47-yard line of the Tigers. 6:51 remaining, and the Lions lead 7-0. Keller Thompson takes the snap, hands to Wilder. No, he keeps it himself, and he is jammed up at the line of scrimmage. Nice play in there by John Hill and 3 other red-shirted Lions.
And that was a good play by Michael Surface there on the outside edge, not getting blocked in and forcing the ball to come outside. He kept the outside leverage and forced the ball to go inside for the tackle for that loss of yards there.
Yeah, David Ortega was right in the middle of that as well. So that's a no-gain situation for Thompson. Be 2nd and 10. Wilder and Thompson set up in the backfield. 2 receivers split left. Fake to Wilder, rolling left and looking deep is Thompson, and he throws the ball out of bounds. Pretty good coverage that time by Kenton Anderson, and that may be why he just aired it out.
Great coverage, and there's a flag on the play there, Bob.
He was looking for Will Hills down the field, and let's see what the penalty is. Looks like it's against Mount Pleasant.
Might be a false start.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is, but if it's just a 5-yard penalty, illegal receiver downfield, and it is declined, that's a good decision by Coach Duke there, because with no gain on the play, I just as soon have them go directly to 3rd down and 10 yards. Denson into the defensive backfield now, replacing McCallum. Again, the shotgun formation for Thompson. Thompson rolls just a little bit to the right, looking downfield, finds an open man, but overshoots Zay Brown.
Good play by Michael Service getting on the outside there. Looks like the quarterback was looking at number 14, the wideout who was right there in the flats, looking to pass it in real quick, and Michael Service backed up and forced him to throw out.
This is pretty interesting with the amount of throwing that Mount Pleasant has done thus far in the game.
Yeah, Bob, looks like they use their running game to open up the passing game. It hasn't worked in this game so far, but here we go on the kickoff. I'm sorry, on the punt.
Punt, I think, is Gongora with the punt. And it is fumbled and picked up by Mount Pleasant. Well, we talked about fielding punts and encouraging our players to field them, and that time looked like maybe Denson had a little trouble.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't close his elbows. He's got to keep those elbows tight and close to each other, or else he's got to create a basket there, and that ball just went straight through his elbows. I've done that too. That's happened to me. It's an awful feeling, Bob.
Well, I never had to field punts, and I'm just as glad. Looks like DeAndre Holly, number 77, is now in on the defensive line. Looks like about a 7-man front. There's a pitch out coming left. It's Caleb Jones, And Jones moves forward for 3 or 4 yards. Kenton Anderson in on tackle, maybe Grigsby as well.
That was a good play by David Ortega, creating traffic. I mean, one of the best things to do there is just to blow the play up completely. It doesn't even matter if you tackle the guy, just get somebody down and create traffic, and that's how you create a stop, and David Ortega did a good job on that.
Looks like a 6-man front look down there for the Lions. Thompson under center this time, pitches to Wilder, and Wilder is stopped at about the 15-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards. This Lions defense is playing very well thus far.
They are playing very well and holding out, Bob. We were a little intimidated by these by the size of this Tiger offense, but looks like the Lions defense are managing pretty well so far.
Well, 1 turnover so far by each team. The fumble that fell into the hands of Jeremiah McCallum, and then Denson's fumble of the punt, which was recovered by Mount Pleasant at the 20. Here's Thompson. He's dropped straight back. He's got a man wide open here in the near side, and it's dropped by Wilder. Wilder looks like a pretty good-sized running back.
He does look a good-sized running back.
Just couldn't hang on to the flat pass, so that'll bring up 4th down. And let's see what kind of a kicking game the Tigers have. It'll be Gongora, Josh Gongora. He is a senior kicker and punter. And he'll be kicking out of the hold of number 6, Lane Pinkard. And the kick is up, and it is no good. Couldn't tell whether that was wide left or right, Dan, could you?
It looked wide left to me.
All right, we'll call it wide left, and we'll call it no good, and we're happy about that.
Yeah, we definitely are. It's still 7-0 here with 4:24 left in the first quarter. Couple good stops by the Greenville Lions defense there, Bob.
Absolutely. So the ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Lions offense will set up. Jaquez Davis goes to the left. Brown is set up to the right with somebody in the slot. Stevens takes the handoff. Stumbling is Denson, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're in that speedy set. He might have tripped over, looked like he might have tripped over Stevens' foot there on that run.
Could have been.
But now they are in trips.
2nd and 10 for the Lions. Brandon Stevens takes a snap, looking right, has a man. It's Sean Brown. Brown carries a tackler beyond the 30-yard line for what appears to be a Greenville 1st down.
That was a great pass by Stevens in traffic in between 3 different Tigers defensive players there. Great throw, great catch for a 1st down there.
Zane Phillips, the defensive cornerback, tried to bring Brown down, and Brown just dragged him for about 5 additional yards. Nice run after the catch. All right, 1st down for the Lions. Stevens hands to Denson. Denson has to go wide. He's got some room. He's down to inside the 40-yard line and steps out of bounds at about the 38.
That could have been bad there, Bob. But Denson, speedy and quick. A little jab step to the left, let him get that outside, and turn a bad play into a good one.
Exactly. And A-Rod replaces a limping Wade Moses at left guard. And we're talking about some real speed on this Greenville team. Stevens, Johnson, and Denson, all on the sprint relay team this past spring, which didn't get a chance to compete for state. All right, here's a snap. Hand off to Pitts. Pitts is almost loose, but he breaks the tackle and makes it up very close to the sticks.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be about 2nd and inches there, Bob. And Pitts again with the yards after contact. It just amazes me how many tackles he breaks. Just keeps moving his feet, keeps adjusting his body, and he keeps making plays.
It looks like it's going to have a measurement to see if the June bug picked up the 1st down for the Lions.
I think
even
it's
if they don't, it'll be a 3rd down and very short. Ball is going to be spotted just short of the Greenville 42-yard line. Lions offense moving pretty briskly tonight, much more consistent than last week against Frisco Liberty. 3:24 remaining. Lions with a 7-0 lead over Mount Pleasant here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium on another really nice night for football. Sam Martin, senior, over the ball. Brandon Stevens, shotgun formation. Pitts at running back. Stevens keeps it behind the block of Pitts. And Bueno only picks up about a yard, but that's all they needed.
Yeah, Bob, that's what I expected to see the last fourth down they had. I expected to see some kind of quarterback keep. That was the right decision right there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Keeping it inside the tackle is probably the better option for picking up just a yard than trying to go wide. All right, another first down for the Lions. 44-yard line. Caleb Johnson goes left, joining Davis. Fake to Pitts. Ball's out. Johnson makes the reception, but it looks like he's going to lose a yard.
And I thought he dropped that. That was a good one-handed catch there by Johnson. A little underthrown or thrown behind Johnson a little bit too much, but he's athletic enough to make that play.
Yeah, one of those times that he'd been better off if he hadn't caught it. It's a reception for a yard loss, so it'll be 2nd and 11 for Greenville. 2:28 remaining, first quarter. Stevens looks, finds, is that Brown again? Denson's loose again. Nice leaping catch by Miles Denson, and he carries defenders down inside the 40-yard line of Mount Pleasant.
You don't expect Denson to be the one carrying defenders, but...
Well, maybe the tackling in the Mount Pleasant secondary is a little bit suspect as well.
Looks like they're pushing him back.
All right, first down for the Lions, 40-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Brandon Stevens gives to Pitts. He's loose up the middle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Hugh Pitts, the June bug, with a beautiful run of 40 yards to put the Lions up that 13 number that we saw earlier. 13-0 lead right now.
And this is for real this time. This is actually 13-0, and heck of a play there by the June bug. Run up the middle. That was looked like maybe a more 30-plus yard run there.
40 yards.
There we go.
All right, here's the PAT attempt. Kick is up, and it is no good.
Looks like that one was wide left too, Bob.
A little wide left. So both kickers have a little problem. So 153 remaining.
Looks like they gave us a point anyway.
No.
Looks like they. Oh, there you go.
Scorekeeper tried to give us 14.
And yeah.
But we're staying with 13. All right. Hey, how about this? What an opening first quarter for the Lions.
And we're seeing, I mean, the offensive line this week's playing more consistently than last week. The defensive line, we're seeing a lot more pressure this week from the defensive line.
Absolutely. And we got to give some credit to these guys up front. Martin and Daniel Bueno and Daniel Jimenez on the right side, opening a really, really big hole for Hugh Pitts. And Pitts showed his speed and his tackle breaking ability and converted that to a beautiful touchdown run. That'll give the junior a lot of confidence going forward the rest of this game.
Definitely.
So 2 touchdowns tonight for the Lions as they lead 13-0 with 1:53 remaining in the first quarter. There's a pooch kick taken at the 32-yard line by Devin Smith, and he's brought down almost immediately by a host of Lions. I don't know whether Archer O'Neill just got underneath that kick, or he intended to pooch it like that. His last one, he kicked it pretty far down the field.
Yeah, I don't think he intended. It looked like he got a little bit too underneath it. That's what it looked like to me.
Okay. He's not a real big guy, so they need to get him into the weight room. All right, there's a penalty, illegal procedure penalty against the Lions. I'm sorry, against the Tigers as they try to start their drive at their own 36-yard line. So that'll move it back to the 31. Tigers kind of struggling on offense so far, and we'll see if they go more to the running game. Right now, though, Thompson's in the shotgun formation. He gives to Caleb Jones. Surface forces him outside. He hurdles a tackler and moves upfield for a pretty nice gain.
Yeah, that was a play on surface. He kind of rushed too deep, too steep in there. He could have circled his route inside a little bit more and would have been able to easily get that tackle a lot easier.
Pretty
Yeah.
athletic hurdle by,
Very athletic hurdle.
and he jumped over Kadarian Johnson, who was grabbing at air. I will call it 2nd and 9. Thompson again looks to the side, then throws wide.
I think he was trying to throw the ball to us, Bob.
Yeah, and that is not that's not Keller Thompson in their quarterback. I apologize. That is Baker Peterson. So maybe coach is trying to get somebody else involved in the passing game, which has been pretty much non-existent for Mount Pleasant thus far. Very erratic throws coming from both quarterbacks. So Peterson now, shotgun formation, drops straight back, looking downfield. He has a man wide open and underthrows at the 48-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. This is very interesting. I can't understand, with them being a rushing team, why they're throwing the ball.
I haven't a clue, Bob, but they're struggling on both sides, on both phases of the ball. Struggling in the air and struggling on the ground as we go to 4th down here.
Let's credit that Lion defense. Here's the punt from Gora, and it's going to let this one bounce. It bounces at the 32 and gets a roll of about 9 yards.
That was a pretty good punt.
Yeah, not a bad punt. Caleb Johnson was back there that time to receive that kick, but Coach Duke said, no, let's just leave that thing bounce. No more fumbles. Lions will set up on their 23-yard line. And we'll see if the Lions offense can continue to produce positive results. The guys up front are just Rodriguez, Martin, Bueno, and Jimenez. Nice job by those 5 guys so far. All right, slot receivers on both sides. Fake to Pitts. Stevens keeps it, and he is buried right at the line of scrimmage.
We're seeing a good job from these offensive linemen here, controlling the ball, controlling the line. And really, I mean, we've only seen the defensive lineman there from the Tigers, Trey Emery, only once show up on a play.
Right.
So they've done a pretty good of keeping base of a 6'2", 285 player.
2nd and 10, rolling right is Stevens, looking downfield. He's got Sean Brown, and Brown has got a 1st down at the 35-yard line. I'll tell you what, Dan, Sean Brown is about as steady a receiver as I've seen in high school football.
Very dependable. He's always there to make that play. I mean, his route is pretty good. He lines up straight in the middle, right of that zone coverage that the Tiger defense is playing. And then Brandon Stevens just connects him every time.
Very good throw on a rope from Stevens. 1st down, Stevens out to the left, and he misses Pitts. A little bit of pressure that time by Emery. Forced the errant throw. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. I think Sean Brown's going to play at the next level, Dan. What do you think?
I think so, Bob. He's super athletic. I think Caleb Johnson as well.
Well, Brown, the thing about Brown is he's got much better size. He's for a really big receiver. He looks to be standing about 6'4", or 6'5", probably goes about 180 pounds. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Lions at their 35-yard line. Handoff this time to Pitts. This time Pitts runs into a host of white-shirted defenders and picks up probably maybe a yard.
There we see Trey Emery and number 34, Bo Nesbitt on the tackle for the Tigers.
So a 3rd and long for the Lions this time as the first quarter is winding down. At the end of 1 quarter of play here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium, Greenville's Lions lead Mount Pleasant's Tigers 13-0. We'll take 30 seconds break, and we'll be right back with Greenville Lion football. All right, Bob Muty and Dan Hernandez back here at Greenville's football stadium, named after the legendary T.A. Cotton Ford. First 12 minutes went very well for the Lions, but they are facing a 3rd and 9 from their own 36-yard line. Brandon Stevens and Hugh Pitts in the backfield for the Lions. Stevens takes a snap, straight drop back. He's under pressure, and he's going to be sacked for a 1-yard loss, and that'll force a punting situation.
We're seeing a little bit more pressure from this Tigers defense on this drive. They didn't really move the ball too much here on this drive for the Lions, did they, Bob?
No, that was kind of an offensive boondoggle that time. Just didn't work out. Stevens just doesn't look quite as shifty tonight when he's trying to scramble around. All right, here's Josh Luna in punt formation. Jackson Cathy in the blocking spot. Snap is back, and it's a good one, and Luna gets the kick away. Short kick, but it takes a nice hop, and the Lions got it covered. Number 12 for the Lions, JaMychal Harris, just watched that thing roll dead. Looks like at about the 21-yard line, so a very effective punt.
And that was a great kick by Josh Luna there, and the way it rolled down for an extra, but it looked like an extra 8 yards.
Yeah, it's about a more than a 40-yard punt, so good job by Luna. The flag is pretty much still now, so what wind we had earlier may be dying. All right, Tigers take over then at their own 21-yard line. And under center now, in the running formation, is Stevenson, and he hands off to Jones, and Jones is stopped after a very short gain by Sincere Jones. Daniel Ortega also in on that play, just a 1-yard gain for Mount Pleasant. The Lions defense has got the Tigers pretty much confused at this point, I guess would be the best way to say it. All right, so it was 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. Peterson. Oh, that ball was very nearly intercepted by Garrett Phillips. Beautiful play defensively as he broke up the pass intended for number 1, Miller McCrumbie.
That was a great play by Garrett Phillips, watching the quarterback's eyes. I mean, that was his play to make. Probably had just hit number 1 there on the Tigers offense, and that's what made the ball pop out. But great play again by Garrett Phillips.
Greenville defense is just playing so much better than we've seen the rest of the season. So the emphasis on tackling is carrying over to all aspects of the defensive side of the ball. So Baker Peterson, the senior quarterback, has replaced Keller Thompson for Mount Pleasant on the past 3 or 4 series, unbeknownst to me actually, but he threw a good ball right there, and that's the first accurate throw that we've seen from a Mount Pleasant quarterback tonight.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing why they've been running so much. It looks like the passing game isn't very accurate. The routes aren't too crisp either, but I think that's why we're seeing that's the reason why they've been rushing for so much here in these games, averaging 306 yards per game and 61 yards in the air.
Yeah, well, like you said earlier, the rushing game, the running game has not been real effective thus far, so maybe they feel the need to try to put it upstairs. But they're going to be facing a 3rd and long, so we can probably expect to see another pass play from Coach Pinkert. So we don't know why Keller Thompson has been replaced at quarterback, but indeed Baker Peterson will take the next snap. Drops straight back, looking way downfield, and he overthrows Zay Brown by a good 8 yards. So Mount Pleasant really struggling through the air, and credit the Lion defense. They're playing some ball.
Definitely line defense there on the defensive line, getting good pressure on there. Kadarian Johnson could have played a little bit more closer to the Tiger wide receiver there on the play attempt, but it worked out in the end, right, Bob?
And there might have been pretty good pressure on Peterson too. There's the punt from Gongora. Ball bounces past Caleb Johnson and is going to roll dead. Ooh, very close to the 25-yard line of the Lions. So not bad field position for the Lions to start. Dongora with a pretty good punt and a very nice roll. 10:18 remaining here in the second quarter. Lions ahead of Mount Pleasant, 13-0. Looks like Miles Denson and Hugh Pitts are both going to line up in the backfield this time with Brandon Stevens. So split backs on either side of Stevens. The Speedy set, and he gives it to Speedy Miles Denson around the left side. He's going down to outside the 35-yard line, and that'll be a first down Greenville.
Great block there by Caleb Johnson to get the outside leverage and force the player inside, and get and is able. That's what really made Miles Denson get that first down on the outside.
And
we saw a lot of the last game.
I was about to say, we've seen some really good downfield blocking by the outside receivers for the Lions. So let's credit Johnson with a big assist there to Denson on that first down run. Denson and Johnson both split right now. Handoff to Pitts. Pitts goes left and then comes back right, and he's dragging tacklers down the field for a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. Hugh Pitts, the junior running back, really showing out tonight.
Looks like they're going to spot that just behind the 42-yard line there, Bob.
Looks like it's going to bring up a 2nd and 4, maybe a long 4, we'll call it that. Lion offensive line again in the middle, led by senior center Sam Martin, doing a really nice job up front for Greenville. Trips right, single receiver to the left, and that's a fake, and up the middle goes Brandon Stevens. He took a jab step and then just took it right upfield, very close to first down yardage.
Yeah, he looks like he might be just short, and they're gonna spot it a yard short. That's gonna bring up a 3rd and 1.
You wonder if it'll be a Stevens keeper again on this short yardage. Stevens has Pitts back there with him. Johnson and Davis to the left. Denson and Brown to the right. And a timeout called by Coach Duke. He just didn't like the look of that defensive set. Maybe he didn't like the call on offense either.
Maybe not. I was looking forward to seeing Pitts get that first down. I don't know if Stevens would have took it again. Looks like they stacked up the box a little bit too much for Coach to be comfortable with.
Well, good field position for the Lions, and another conversion right here will set them up for the rest of the drive. 9:01 remaining here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Greenville Lions 13, Mount Pleasant's Tigers 0. So the Lions burn one of their timeouts, and we'll see if the third down play called by offensive coordinator Brett Alexander is a successful one. Looks like Portillo is going to win at the H-back position, so they're powering up as the Tigers come back on the field. Lions still in the huddle. Nice crowd from Mount Pleasant has come from the east to witness their Tigers, who are 2-0 going into this game, but so far they're being dominated by Greenville's Lions. Denson and Brown out to the right. Shotgun formation. Hands to Odegus Johnson, and he is buried for a loss. And that's Trey Emery again.
Yeah, it looks like Mount Pleasant Tigers were expecting that up the middle.
Interesting that they would use Odegus Johnson. He's the smallest of the 3 running backs. In a short yardage situation, you would think that would have been Davion Wallace, or at the very least Hugh Pitts. All right, unsuccessful then on 3rd and 1 are the Lions. Sincere Jones late into the line for this punt formation. Josh Luna standing at his own 31-yard line. Good snap. Gets the kick away. It's a low kick, but a good kick. And it's fielded at the 22-yard line by Mount Pleasant. He's loose around the right side. Several missed tackles. And finally brought down by 3 or 4 defenders at the 34-yard line. Nice run back that time.
Looks like they might have thought that he had called for a fair catch.
Could have been, because they didn't tackle him.
They didn't tackle him when they came up. They didn't tackle him, and he just broke away with it.
That's a good open field run by Devin Smith on that return. So Mount Pleasant will be setting up at the 34-yard line. Keller Thompson is back in the game now at quarterback. He's got Caleb Jones in the backfield with him. Now that's Jalen Williams. He fakes to Williams and carries it around left side and is brought down with a beautiful tackle that time by the cornerback on that side. And that's McCallum with the play.
McCallum again with a great play. Great tackle by McCallum.
Tell you what, the emphasis on tackling this past week is really paying dividends.
And we needed to see it, Bob. A lot of plays. Oh, looks like we got a hurt Tiger on the field.
Injury on the field. We'll take 30 seconds at this point and give our vocal cords a rest. All right, back here at the T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium, we've got a Mount Pleasant offensive lineman down at the 36-yard line and appears to be in some serious discomfort.
Looks like he was holding that right knee after he went down.
Yeah, the trainers are tending to him, and they've been there with him for about a minute now, and here comes one of the coaches out to check on his status.
Looks like we have an ambulance there on the left side of the field, just holding steady, waiting for the call. There, I see a few of the ambulance right there on the fence.
Any activity down there?
No activity so far.
Okay, EMTs haven't rushed into action yet, but it would appear that they may very well be called into action pretty shortly because there is no movement from the injured player right now from Mount Pleasant. Still haven't been able to identify the injured player, and rather than speculate, we'll wait. He is up now. Might be Oscar Perez, a junior right guard, number 66, and he has an injured right leg, and he's hopping off the field with the assistance of a couple of trainers. So we'll hope for the best for Oscar for the rest of the season. Definitely looks like a fairly serious injury, Danny.
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking down at the field. I see number 69, Wade Moses there, shoulder pads off. His left knee wrapped. Looks like he might be in some kind of pain there by the bench.
Yeah, Moses limped off the field earlier. Well, here's Keller Thompson. He looks downfield, and he gets the first completion of the night for the Tigers. And that is McCrumbie. And he's got a first down inside Greenville Lions territory at the 49-yard line. Very nice throw by Keller Thompson that time. And the first completion of the night for Mount Pleasant's Tigers. So 1st and 10, we'll call it the 47-yard line. Thompson hands off to Wilder, and Wilder up the middle for a nice gain. Check it, that was Jalen Williams. Williams and Caleb Jones are seniors. Ed Wilder is a junior, and right now it seems like the seniors getting most of the carries. We'll call it 2nd and a long 2. They fake the start of the play and look over for the play from the sidelines. So Thompson in the shotgun formation looks left, finds his receiver up for first down yardage. That's Caleb Jones split out wide. Nice throw again by Thompson as he's found his rhythm.
And looks like they have number 12 Keller Thompson back in I think the last drive we saw number 10 in. So it looks like they're switching these quarterbacks every other drive.
Maybe they just had to have a talk with Thompson, because he's come out looking a whole lot different. Here he fakes, throws the pitch out to Williams, and Williams is brought down again with a nice tackle.
That was Miles Denson on the tackle, a diving tackle by Miles Denson.
Denson grabbed him at the ankles, brought him down after a 2-yard gain. Denson seeing service on both sides of the ball tonight. Got Kenton Anderson over here on the left side. He's got Zay Brown to contend with. Here comes Denson over to work on the slot receiver. In motion. Thompson fakes it and throws low under pressure from Belton, or actually that was Ortega maybe? David Ortega with a lot of pressure in the face of Keller Thompson forces an errant throw. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Tigers at the 31-yard line of Greenville. So the first incompletion of this series for Thompson. Shotgun formation. Thompson pitches to Williams, and Williams has some running room, and he's down to the 20-yard line before he's brought down by Deshaun Grigsby, Kenton Anderson, and that'll be a first down for the Tigers. So they're working that little option pitch, and Thompson's doing a good job of orchestrating that run for Williams.
We've seen a little bit of a hurry offense. The Lions haven't done too well in the past against that.
Quick throw is dropped. That's Jones on the with a drop. Let me check that number. Is that 3 or 5?
That looks.
We're pretty high up here in this press box, but that is in fact Caleb Jones.
And that is number 3. Yep.
So a drop forces a 2nd and 10 for Mount Pleasant's Tigers. Keller Thompson hands to Jaden Williams, and Williams is buried by 3 or 4 red-shirted defenders right there in the middle of the defense. Belton and Ortega, and maybe big number 77 for the Lions, who we're seeing really for the first time. That's DeAndre Holly. I don't know where he's been, but he's a force tonight so far. 3rd and 7, we'll call it. Thompson drops back. Oh, it's picked off down the sidelines. I'm not sure who it is, but he's got room to run. Trips over a blocker, and he's still loose. Down to the 10, the 5, and a face mask penalty. Brings him down. It's a 5-yard line. That might be Jaquez Davis.
That was number 15, Kadarian Johnson.
Kadarian Johnson with another big play.
Huge play by Kadarian Johnson there. Huge play. Again, read the quarterback's eyes and jumped for the pick. Looked again carried by Coach downfield.
He stepped in front of that receiver. That was a pretty well thrown ball. It was just thrown a little bit late. Johnson stepped in at about the Greenville 11-yard line. He responded by returning that thing to the 5-yard line of Mount Pleasant, and really would have had a touchdown had he not had to wait for a blocker. A guy was trying to help him out and actually slowed him down a step, but he broke a tackle at the 30-yard line and made it down to the 5 before he was brought down with an illegal face mask penalty. So first down at the 3.5-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Matt Denson in motion, quick pass, and that is a touchdown. Nice throw, a little bit low to Sean Brown. So Stevens to Sean Brown for another Greenville touchdown. So off the turnover and the huge return by Kadarian Johnson, excuse me. Kadarian Johnson having a heck of a game tonight. As is all the Greenville defense.
It's a great game from this Greenville defense.
Lions up 19-0 in the placement right now by Archer O'Neill. Kick is up, and this one is good. Lions 20, Mount Pleasant 0. We'll take a 30-second break. Bob Muty and Dan Hernandez here at Greenville Stadium. And we've got a shocker here tonight. Greenville 20, Mount Pleasant 0. 5 minutes and 1 second remain in the first half of play. Lions are lining up the kickoff from their own 40-yard line, kicking from the south. Archer O'Neill, sophomore placement kicker for Greenville, approaches. The kick is up. It's a pooch kick. Comes down at about the 29-yard line, taken there again by number 9 for Greenville, or for Mount Pleasant. That's Devin Smith. He's had a couple really nice returns tonight.
And here come out the mighty Greenville Lions defense, playing a very consistent, good game.
Yeah, they're getting particularly good play from their defensive secondary.
Great play from defensive secondary. Good pressure from the defensive line. We're seeing David Ortega play more. We're seeing Michael Service with some big plays as well.
All right, so Mount Pleasant will start. This time it's Baker Peterson back in the game at quarterback. Hands off to Wilder, and Deshaun Grigsby has got a hold of Wilder, and he stops him after a gain of about 4 yards. So the big running back for Mount Pleasant moves forward before Grigsby can put the stop on him.
It looks like they got number 10, Baker Peterson, in at quarterback.
So a little quarterback shuffle going on tonight for Mount Pleasant, so Danny and I will try to keep up with that. Got trips right. Wilder in the backfield with Peterson. It's an option. Peterson's on the keeper, and he's buried at the midfield, maybe call it the 49-yard line. Green and Braden Maps on the play.
Yeah, it would have been a loss of yards. Michael Service just plant that feet and watch his hips move. He kind of jumped the gun there and was able to be juked easily.
That was Jalen Maps, my mistake. Third and a short 2. Wilder takes the handoff. He's got first down yardage before he's tripped up.
Looks like he was tripped up by David Ortega.
Ortega's made some plays tonight on that defensive side, but Wilder gets the first down. So Mount Pleasant on the move. They'll go into the hurry-up mode. They've got number 7, T.J. Johnson, into the wide receiver slot, joining Mills. So Peterson drops back, rolling right, looking downfield, gets some pressure, and he's brought down. Beautiful play by Sincere Jones, and it looks like there's a penalty on the play.
Looks like that might have been on offense.
Sincere Jones with good pressure on the quarterback, and they call intentional grounding, which will result essentially in a sack. So the ball will be placed, I believe, right there at the 45-yard line where Jones brought him down.
And we have 3 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock until halftime starts, and looks like we have our drill team out lining up on the right side of the field here from our point of view.
And Mount Pleasant's band has also traveled along with their cheerleaders tonight, and that was something we didn't expect to see. Credit Sincere Jones with a great sack on that play, and that is a loss of down on the penalty. So it's 2nd and 10. Fake. Michael Surface had a chance to bring down Peterson in the backfield, and he just ran out of his arms.
He really shouldn't stop on the play. As soon as, and there was a chance for him to kind of get back in there and make a play. Looks like he kind of quit after he got juked there.
Yeah, good play by Kenton Anderson to stop him after a very short gain. Looks like 3rd and 10. Ball is spotted at the 46-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Lions defense playing exceptionally tonight. Baker Peterson, senior quarterback, in for Mount Pleasant, takes a snap, rolls slightly left, looking downfield, and overshoots the receiver, which is number 7, I believe. It's T.J. Johnson. Belton gives him a shot just for good measure. I was glad they did throw the flag on that one. That was a little late.
That was good pressure there by David Ortega on the quarterback. Really, his only option was to throw it in the field and empty green there.
All right, punt formation for Mount Pleasant. Josh Gongora gets the punt away. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken. No, it's going to be bouncing The Lions stay away from it again, and they let the ball come dead at the 1-yard line. Miles Denson back there that time, and this is going to be a tough go here from the 1.
That was Devin Smith on there catching the ball on the 1-yard line. He's made some pretty good plays on special teams.
He has indeed. 2 good returns, and the downing of the ball, that's actually inside the 1-yard line, Danny. So, tough place to start a drive. Let's see if the Lions can push it out and get at least 1 first down. 20-0, the Lions lead. They're backed up in their own end zone right now. They need a positive play on first down. 4 yards deep in the end zone is Brandon Stevens. Denson in motion. He gives to Pitts. Pitts has a little bit of room. He breaks 1 tackle, and he's stopped for no gain.
It looks like they're giving him a safety on that, and there's flags, 2 flags down on the field with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock. Before we go to halftime.
Yeah, there's no way that's a safety. That was a forward progress. Should have been marked there at the 1-yard line. I'm sure that this will come back. Is he calling a touchdown?
I think he's saying it was a safety, but a personal foul on the play by the defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I thought Pitts, he did bring the ball out to the 1-yard line. They must have just taken it away from him and scored a touchdown. So the good punt and downing at the 1-yard line for Mount Pleasant results in a touchdown as Pitts loses the ball. Wow. That's a quick shock for Mount Pleasant. So the Tigers score on another turnover. That's 2 against the Lions, 2 against the Tigers tonight. The kick by Gongora is up, and it's good. So the Lions' lead is cut to 20-7 on the turnover by Hugh Pitts. That was a strange play.
That was a strange play. I didn't see them rip the ball from Hugh Pitts there. Not sure when that happened, Bob, but the score's 20-7 now with 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, as I said earlier, I thought his forward progress was stopped.
I did too.
Before that ball was obviously stripped from his hands.
Maybe he had stopped running and the ball stripped before the whistle was blown, I would assume. They would have thought that the forward progression would have, they would have blown the whistle dead with the forward progression, but...
Well, that's a tough break for the Lions because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. The kickoff by Mendoza is going to be taken from the 25-yard line of Mount Pleasant, so the Lions should get good field position. And with 2:33 remaining and 2 timeouts, that should be enough time to put something together. 20-7 now after that 1-yard touchdown turnover drive by Mount Pleasant. Here's Mendoza's kick. It's taken at the 29-yard line. That's Denson. Denson is up to the 40. He's loose. 50. Still juddering around and jitterbug, and he's up inside the 45-yard line of the Tigers. Very nice run and return by Miles Denson.
Miles Denson's so shifty there. I mean, he's so good. If there's open green, he's going to make a play. He's so shifty and quick.
I'll tell you what.
He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. He's like a jitterbug down there. Like he's on ice or something. So Miles Denson with a good return. Lions set it up. 42-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Denson in the backfield with Odegus Johnson, and Stevens is looking downfield, and he is sacked for a 9-yard loss.
And that was the big boy, number 99, Trey Emery, with the sack.
He's a hard guy to handle, the size of him, and he's coming from this left tackle position, so he's Jimenez and Bueno's problem, and that time he beat the double team. 1:55 and clock moving Lions now faced with a second, and we'll call it 15. Looks like Pitt's back in the backfield now with Stevens. Trips right, single receiver, split out to the left. Stevens rolls to his left, and very short with a throw, looking for Jaquez Davis. I think Stevens may be feeling a little bit of pressure. He let that go a little bit early and was way low on the throw.
Yeah, he's got Trey Emery in mind as he runs around in the backfield there, Bob.
He's been looking
I would
too
too,
much
Bob.
too much in 99 so far tonight.
6'2", 285. I would too.
3rd and 15 for the Lions. Stevens, straight drop back. He's scrambling right. He's got room to run. He throws downfield and misses Denson. He could have run for a first down there, Danny.
Yeah, there's open green on the right side. That was an easy first down there. Looks like the punt team is coming out. Kick this ball away. With 1 minute and 27 seconds left on the clock there. Left in this first half here, Bob.
Wow, I would love to have seen him hang on to that and just try to make it down to the far sideline and pick up a first down.
Miles Denson was open there. Overthrew him just a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Luna in punt formation for the Lions. Standing at his own 41. Gets the kick away. It's a good one. And Devin takes it at the 9-yard line.
That was Jamichael Harris there on the tackle, number 12.
Good coverage that time by Harris. Devin Smith with no return that time. Good play by the Lion kick coverage team, and the Tigers will set up shop with a first down on their 14-yard line with 1:19 remaining. We'll see what they can do. They do have 2 timeouts left. 20-7, the Lions lead. And at quarterback, it looks like Baker Peterson. There is a flag on the play. And it's an illegal substitution against the Lions, and it is not Peterson. It is Thompson in there again. So that'll cost the Tigers 5 yards on the illegal substitution. I have a feeling that the coaching staff from Mount Pleasant might just be happy to go to the locker room only down 13 points.
Definitely, Bob. I'm a little interested in the quarterback shuffle here.
All right, the handoff this time to Jalen Williams, and Williams is stopped after a short gain. Ortega may be in on that play. And a timeout is taken by the Lions. They're trying to preserve the clock, do you think, Dan?
Yeah, it looks like they are. I'm back to the quarterback shuffle here. It just got me a little puzzled because the quarterbacks, I wouldn't say, are particularly good at one phase of the ball, whether it's running or passing. Maybe they're getting both these quarterbacks some reps, but they're both contending for a starting position there, Bob.
Getting ready for district play, just like we talked about Coach Duke looking at some of the younger players tonight in anticipation of the district opener next week in Ennis. Now Pleasant out of 9 5A, Division II. That's more of the teams from the East. Formerly a district rival of the Lions. We're not sure who took that timeout because the scoreboard is not reflecting it, but I'm suspecting it was the Lions, so if that's the case, they have 1 remaining. Second, and we'll call it 11. Handoff going left. That's a nice run that time by...
That was a good wrap-up by David Ortega there on the tackle.
Tyson Minner on the carry, and he gets upfield for about 7 or 8 yards. Clock running, 55, now 54 seconds left. No timeouts being taken. So it looks like both coaches may be satisfied just to let the clock run out here. 3rd and 4. Handoff. Once again, it's Minter.
Looks like Michael surfaced there on the tackle.
And it is a first down for Mount Pleasant, so that'll stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains.
It's a great job of this defensive line getting off their tackles and getting these getting off their blocks and getting these tackles, Bob.
I'm surprised that Thompson was still in shotgun formation. He rolls to his left, throws high, and it's almost intercepted out there by McCallum maybe, or no, Jackson Cathy. Good coverage by the junior. Throw was a little bit high, but the receiver went up.
Looks
had
like
his hands on it.
I was gonna say, it looks like he had maybe coming down, probably would have fumbled it on the way down, but like you said, throw a little too high there.
More accurate than Thompson has been most of the night, however. So again, he may be getting into his rhythm as far as throwing. All right, 2nd and 10. 17 seconds remain. Handoff is to Williams, and Williams is brought down very close to the line of scrimmage. The Lions are getting good penetration. That time that was...
that looks like 45 Sincere Jones on the tackle.
Yeah, and Ortega was in on that one too. So that's going to be the end of the first half, and unfortunately for the Lions, they give up an easy touchdown on a turnover at the 1 yard line by Hugh Pitts, but they still lead 20-7 at the end of the first half.
We're seeing great plays on from the defensive line and offensive line, really controlling the ball on both faces of the ball there, Bob. And that is, I mean, that's reflecting in the score right now. We're seeing great runs. They're giving Brandon Stevens good time to make good plays. So it's a lot better on both phases of the ball that we've seen last week and than what we've seen at White House, Bob.
Yeah, for sure. Last week's game was kind of an enigma, and tonight we're kind of surprised that at the play of the Lions, like you said, on both sides of the ball, and on the kicking game. The special teams have done a nice job.
And it was and the emphasis on tackling really reflects in this game, Bob.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Great tackles from this defense, really getting off these blocks. Michael Service and Dave Ortega get off their blocks and concealing the outside edge. Making these guys run inside and having the rest of the Lions defense rally to get the block, Bob. So we're seeing a lot of great defense from this line team all around. Defensive backs, linebackers, and the defensive line.
They're flying to the ball, Danny.
They are.
That's what's making the difference.
I'd love to see the rally to the ball. Everyone rally and get the tackle. And I love that. That's best smash mouth football. That's what I love to see, Bob.
Well, that just makes it a whole lot easier on the guy who makes the initial hit. If he can't bring him down, if there's a couple of guys coming to his rescue, he gets some credit, and so do the guys that are getting involved with the tackle. So, once again, Lions, pretty impressive performance. A little sluggish there the last couple of series by the offense, but a couple of key turnovers tonight have resulted in points for both teams. So. We've got the band performing now, and I misidentified the band that was in the end zone. That's actually the Greenville band, and I expected them to be in red, and they're in black.
Oh, you're right.
So indeed, the band from Mount Pleasant has not traveled. But we've got an 18-minute halftime with about 16 minutes of that remaining. So Danny and I are going to take a break and let you enjoy the halftime show of the Flaming Flashes and the Greenville High School Band.
Ashley Austin and the late Clarence Bond. Flashes have just entertained you with their traditional pom-poms and are now featured in a pom-pom as the band plays Fat Bottom Girl. Flashes are under the field direction of Colonel Ashlyn Vaughn, Assistant Flash Director, Ms. Deborah Anderson Hopkins, and Flash Director, Ms. Lori L. Butler.
Yeah, just, I'll tell you, so I can, if it's reading from down there, I can recall it. Big Lamb has worked this long? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening and welcome to Greenville Lions Ride Band's portion of tonight's halftime. Greenville Independent School District is very proud to present the 2020 edition of the Lions Ride Band and the Greenville High School, a performance of pride. Tonight our award-winning band will perform their 2020 UIL contest show, Dream On. The band will perform the first two movements of their competition show. Eleanor Rigby with David McCarthy as a trumpet solo, and Caitlin Welford as a trumpet solo. Band Student of the Week goes to Sebastian Gonzalez. Drum majors for the band are Tobias Hackney, Karen Ocho, and Sydney Sadler.
Two green lines at the bottom. Okay, so.
Bob Muty back here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium. Got the infamous David Claiborne from the Greenville Herald-Banner with us again. David has been kind enough to grace us with his presence and provide us with the statistics from this first half of activity. David, what do you got?
Okay, first, here we go. Of course, the halftime score is 20-7, Greenville ahead. First downs are 7-6, which is a little bit misleading because Mount Pleasant only had one first down for quite a while there. Greenville has 174 total yards to 97 for Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant's rushing attack, which had been averaging over 300 yards a game, only has 71 yards. So the Lion front seven on the defense have really done a great job. Greenville has 123 yards rushing, 51 yards passing. Hugh Pitts is running hard tonight. He's got 70 yards on 8 carries. Brandon Stevens has 54 yards on 4 carries. Brandon scored on a 37-yard run. Hugh Pitts scored on a 40-yard run. The Lions also scored on a 3-yard pass. So Brandon, passing-wise, he's 6 of 10 for 51 yards. And of course, that 3-yard touchdown run was set up by the 85-yard interception return by Kadarian Johnson. Not only is the Lion defense not giving up any yardage, they've forced 2 turnovers. A big turnaround from last week.
Absolutely, David. I'm frankly very surprised at the outcome of this first half. What do you think?
The Lions look like the defense looks like a totally different team. But I was expecting a little more from Mount Pleasant. We've seen them through the years, and they play hard, and maybe they came in here thinking it would be easy. They should have known better. All they have to do is talk to their older brother or their grandfather to know that when they play the Greenville Lions, it's always a tough game.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've had some good ones over the years. They've been a district rival for many, many years. David, thank you very much for your help, and we'll talk to you next week. You going to be in Ennis or not?
I'm planning on I think this is a great way to get ready for Ennis, and Ennis should be a little concerned with the Lions because last year Lions had them down for most of the game, and when they see the game film on this one, it ought to put a little fear in those Ennis Lions.
You're probably right. David, thanks again. David Claiborne, Greenville Herald-Banner sportscaster extraordinaire. David's been down there at the Herald-Banner for as long as I can remember. I moved to Greenville in 1980, and he was there then, and he's still down there.
The great David Claiborne.
All right, Lions back on the field now. They're in the north end zone. I would expect that the Mount Pleasant Tigers coming over from the high school. They got the long walk from the visitors' locker room.
And Bob, if you don't mind, we can go to some around the district real quick. Looks like down in Corsicana, it's down halftime against White House. Corsicana is losing 20-7. Royce City was supposed to face Wiley East, and it looks like the game was canceled against Wiley East this week. So the game was canceled. They did not play. Forney taking on Texarkana is at halftime. They are losing 35-10. North Forney at halftime against Brewer, winning 35-10. Crandall down and over in Joshua. That is at halftime. Crandall's down 23-24 at halftime. And Sulphur Springs, the game's already ended. Looks like it might have played maybe a day before, or maybe they started early. But the game, Sulphur Springs lost 17-0 against Hallsville. So that's what's going on right now around the district. So it looks like Greenville, if they can stick it out here, them and North Forney will be the 2 wins of this district.
It would appear, just judging by the scores that you just read, and I don't know much about the teams in the district yet, and I don't know much about the teams they've played, with the exception of White House. We know that they're pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But it would appear that maybe the district is not going to be as strong as Dave Campbell predicted.
Yeah, maybe not as strong as Dave Campbell predicted, but looks like our Greenville Lions can. The way that things are going out, they might be able to get away with being first or second place here in the district if they keep things up.
Well, Ennis will obviously be a tough game next week to start the district, and especially we have to go down there to play them. But as David said, in last year's game, and I was at the game in the stands, Greenville dominated Ennis, and they were ahead by 15 or 16 points in the first half, only to have Ennis come back and win the ball game late. So anyway, the Lions will be kicking to start the second half, so Mount Pleasant will get the ball first.
And I did forget one score. I actually forgot Ennis. So here we go. Ennis is at halftime right now. They are winning against Waxahachie 28-0. As our Greenville Lions run out of the run-through.
Lions coming through the gauntlet. We've got the band and the cheerleaders down there providing encouragement and enthusiasm. So let's hope that the Lions can duplicate the performance there in the first half, particularly defensively.
Yeah, I'd like to see them keep up with the consistent tackling, consistent pressure on the QBs. QBs, I say that because they've been shuffling number 10 and number 12 on the Mount Pleasant side.
Yeah, Peterson and Thompson have pretty much had equal playing time tonight. Thompson there in the last series, throwing the ball a little bit better than either one of them earlier in the game.
Yeah, but they've been. I want to see consistent pressure, consistent tackling from this line defense, and consistent coverage. I mean, we've been playing good on all phases of the defense. Consistent. They've been making great plays. Not trying to force anything they don't have to. I've seen a pretty conservative but efficient defense from this Greenville Lions.
Yeah, the front seven is getting pretty good pressure on the two quarterbacks. And the tackling in the defensive secondary tonight has been just absolutely tremendous.
You talked to Coach Duke. He said we'd be seeing a lot of a six-man front on the defense. It looks like we've been seeing a seven-man front. Been playing four on the defensive line and with three linebackers, and every now and then bringing in a nickel back to help with the coverage. But whatever they practiced this week, it worked because they're doing great.
And that defensive scheme could be the reason why Mount Pleasant has decided to try to throw over those guys. All right, so Archer O'Neill will be kicking off for the Lions to start the second half. They lead 20-7 over Mount Pleasant, and now we've got a delay for some reason, unbeknownst to the two of us up here in the booth. I guess we're waiting maybe for the Booster Club to get the run through deflated and get away from the end zone here on the north end.
Yep, and looks like the Mount Pleasant Tigers kickoff team, actually receiving team, is going to come out, making their way out already.
Looks like deep to receive the kick will be, one of them would be Will Hills, number 13. He'll be on the near side. Looks like Caleb Jones will be in the center, and I'm guessing probably Jalen Williams on the far side. Either he or Wilder, the other running back, will probably be the deep man, and they're standing at about the 15-yard line, knowing that Archer O'Neill doesn't have a particularly strong leg, and we'll see if O'Neill decides to pooch it down to Devin Smith, who's made several good returns tonight. He's standing at the 31-yard line for Mount Pleasant. Zay Brown is at the 30. And McCrumbie is standing at the 35-yard line. Five guys up front in the kickoff return formation for the Tigers. Still waiting for the Lions to get lined up. I guess maybe the officials were a little late getting out of the locker room.
Yeah, there you go. The official running out. We got the last official running out right. He's passing the end zone on the left side here towards the indoor facility.
10% always don't get the word, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys, 3 or 4 of them were really late coming out. So I imagine the head referee is not going to be too proud of that situation. Anyway, we're about ready to go now, starting the second half. O'Neill approaches, and he kicks it deep. It's a low kick taken at the 17-yard line by Mills. And he is up outside the 35, up to the 39-yard line.
Looks like we have a Lion down on the field right on the 25. Look, he dove towards the Tiger receiver there. Helmet is taken off. Looks like David Ortega might be seeing a 44 there.
Yeah, that might be Ortega. He may have a cramp.
Looks like they're stretching him right now.
Yeah, the kick coverage that time was not as good as it has been in the past, and Mount Pleasant will start after Hill's run at their own 39-yard line. So we'll see if the Tigers stay with the passing game or revert back to their more successful rushing game in the early part of the season. It is Ortega. He is up, and he's being assisted off the field. We'll have to wait and see if it is a cramp or whether it's an ankle injury of some sort. David Ortega's had a really good game defensively for the Lions. He'll be missed if he can't continue.
Looks like they have in his spot. Looks like they have DeAndre Holly out, number 77. As David Ortega is being helped off the field.
Yeah, across that defensive front, we've got Holly, Grigsby, John Hill, Maps, and Jimenez. Jimenez may be in there for Ortega. Hand off to the up back, and he moves forward for about 4 yards. Keller Thompson back in at quarterback. That was Jalen Williams with the carry. Second, and we'll call it 6, at the 43-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Under center, Thompson pitches to Caleb Jones, and Jones moves forward, breaking tackles for about a 3-yard pickup.
Looks like Maps was there on the tackle, assisted by a few other lines there.
Yeah, Jalen Maps from his defensive tackle spot. All right, third and about 3 for the Tigers. Under center is Thompson. He hands. This time I think it's Caleb Jones. And Jones gets around right side for a first down.
And we're seeing a more efficient running game from this Tigers offense, Bob. It looks like the Lions defense adjusted, playing up. Looks like they got about six men up on the defense, on that defensive line.
So the Tigers have decided to go back to the running game. 3 consecutive runs. This time Johnson hands to Wilder. Wilder busts off left tackle for a gain of about 5 yards. Brought down by Davian Wallace. So the Tigers are moving the ball. Lions defense has to stiffen at this point. Thompson under center. Hands off to the I-back, and he is close to first down yardage.
Good tackle there by John Hill coming downhill. John Hill coming downhill for the tackle.
It's going to be short of first down yardage, so it'll be 3rd and 1. Jones and Williams in the backfield with Keller Thompson. Looking over to the sideline for the play. Approaches the line of scrimmage. Still under center. We'll see if they go with the quarterback sneak. He hands off, and it is a first down. I think that's Williams on the carry.
We're seeing that 301 yards average per game offense right now, Bob.
Yeah,
They ran on every single play here.
Yeah, moving the ball pretty smartly now, and the Lion defense has got to try to stiffen here. That's a first down at the 32-yard line of the Lions. Looks like they have an unbalanced line to the left. See if they go that way. Indeed, they give it to Jones. Hill, he gets around Hill, and running him out of bounds with another fine play is Kadarian Johnson.
Kadarian Johnson there. It looked like there was a hold there on John Hill. Kind of upset the refs didn't see that, catch that, and call it.
He did a good job stringing that one out, though, so Johnson could make the hit. And that may be a loss of yardage that time, Dan.
It looks like, yep. They moved it back a yard. Yep, it was a loss of yard.
So a 2-yard loss. Big play defensively on first down by the Lions. So they do stiffen just a little bit. Ed Wilder now in the backfield with Williams. Play clock just now starting. Thompson's under center. Hands to Williams. Williams is hogtied that time by Grigsby at the line of scrimmage, but he pushes forward for about 4 yards. Grigsby got him around the neck.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he was still pushing forward with his legs.
Heck of a game from this defensive line, really holding them to it. Not
Yeah.
allowing to get these big yardage plays here.
Yeah, Jimenez gets a blow. He's the offensive starter, so he needs to get a rest. They go strong right, and Wilder is loose down to the 20, 15, and steps out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Ed Wilder with a nice gain around the right end.
That was a good play by Michael Surface, keeping them inside. He tried to do a little spin move and try to get that tackle. He was just a hair short from it, but other than that, it was a pretty good play, forcing them inside on that. Very athletic play by that running back.
Yeah, big gain by Wilder. First down at the 11-yard line. Wilder gets it again. He goes off left tackle for about 6 yards. Tigers moving the ball now, exclusively on the ground, testing that Lion defense. McCallum now replaces John Hill. Two-back set. Tyler hands to Wilder once again, and he's tripped up by McCallum in the backfield, and he's slow getting up. Nice play by Jeremiah McCallum.
Heck of a play by Jeremiah McCallum, wrapping up on the downhill, rushing that downhill edge. It looks like, is he still down? Okay, looks like he got back up.
Yeah, somebody was tying his shoe.
Okay.
Okay, Williams and Wilder in the backfield behind Thompson. Third down, we'll call it a long 5. McCrumbie out to the left. Strong right. They go left. It's Wilder. Wilder gets away from McCallum, and he steps into the end zone, I believe, for a touchdown. Ed Wilder with an 8-yard touchdown run to make the score Greenville 20, Mount Pleasant 13.
Heck of a play from those two Tiger guards pulling on the outside edge, getting those blocks and sealing the inside edge, allowing the running back to get the outside edge and make that play for the touchdown.
Lions had a shot at him, Danny.
McCollum did have a shot at him.
Okay, the kick by Gongora is up and good. 20-14, the Lions lead. We'll take a 30-second break. All right, we're back. Lions Mendoza will be kicking for the Tigers from the 40-yard line on the north end of the field. Deep for the Lions. Denson and Johnson, I would assume. Can't see the numbers from here. Here's a pooch kick. It'll be taken by number 9. That's Ty. No, I'm sorry, it's Jaquez Davis. And Davis moves upfield with a nice return to the 49-yard line of Mount Pleasant.
Great run there by Jaquez Davis.
Very nice.
Landed on the 51-yard line there. Oh, sorry, 49-yard line.
It's better than a 20-yard return on a pooch kick. That's pretty unusual.
Yes, sir.
He's trying to match Devin Smith from Mount Pleasant tonight. All right, so the Lions offense needs to get in gear now, control this ball. Looks like they got the speedy set in the backfield with 2 split backs. Gives to Denson. Denson's got the corner on the right side, down to the 40. And pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line of Mount Pleasant.
And a good 11-yard run there by Miles Denson, the first play of this drive.
quick, really, really quick. It's like you said earlier in the broadcast, Danny, he is a fun player to watch. They'll give him 8 yards, I think. Let's wait and see where they spot it. Now maybe there's a penalty as they're coming back, and indeed, oh wow, a nice gain by Denson is being negated by a penalty against the Lions. The first one against the Lions tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not. That is the first penalty against the Lions tonight.
I can guess a holding call was what was indicated. So now it's 2nd and 20. Stevens looks downfield. Now has to roll to his left. Now he's in trouble, and he's been sacked on about the 38-yard line of the Lions. So that'll be a loss of 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, these line receivers have to realize whenever Brandon Stevens rolls out like that, they have to try to make a play too. Jaquez Davis kind of started jogging there as Brandon Stevens is running towards the outside. He's got to try to get open and make a play happen there.
Got to come back to your quarterback.
Definitely, Bob.
All right, so the Lions offense really struggling now. 2nd down, and we'll call it 23 at the 38.5-yard line. Brandon Stevens gives to Pitts. Pitts has got some room. He's got a first down inside the 35-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Beautiful haul off left tackle created by Just and A-Rod. What a hole for Pitts that time. My goodness. That is a huge conversion. And they set up now with a first down. Phillips tries Pitts again. Brandon Stevens gives to Pitts. Pitts breaks tackles, runs over people, and he's inside the 25-yard line, and Danny Hernandez is fired up.
Whew, Junebug Pitts, he's coming out, but huge play. Putting his shoulder pads down and leveling that Tiger defender there. Great play by the Junebug.
Down to the 25, 2nd and 3. Atticus Johnson replaces Pitts in the backfield. Stevens takes a snap from Martin. He's going to keep it. Not much going on. Oh, he gets the corner. He's going to score. Touchdown, Brandon Stevens, as he breaks the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden there was no white shirts down there. Brandon Stevens, my goodness, that's a 25-yard touchdown run for the quarterback on a keeper. Kind of faked up the middle and then came wide, and it didn't look good at first, but man, he turned it on.
Looked like he was slow playing the blocks. His blocks were good, they're stealing the outside edge, and just like that, every time that you steal that outside edge, it makes it for a good play.
All right, here's Archer O'Neill's kick. It's up, and it's good. So the Lions take a 27-14 lead as they answer the Mount Pleasant touchdown with one of their own.
Great plays from this Lions offense, Bob. We're seeing good plays by both faces of the ball. Looks like we have a player down. Looks like they're stretching David Ortega out right now.
Well, we were hoping he'd be able to get back in the game, and it looks like it's got to be cramps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's got to be cramps, yeah. More water throughout the day will help.
More water, more bananas.
Yes, sir.
You wonder if on that run by Stevens, if we didn't have some good downfield blocking by our wide receivers again.
It looked that way. I think they might have set doubles on the opposite side, so they might not have been. It might have been the pulling guards there that really sealed that outside edge.
Well, credit the offensive blockers for Greenville, and there were probably many of them that sprung Brandon Stevens on that 25-yard touchdown run. Here's Archer O'Neill kicking for the Lions. He kicks it deep. It's taken at the 18-yard line by Hills. Hills up. He's knocked and broken down and makes it up. Wow. Pretty nice run by Hills. Stepped out of a tackle and made it to the 35-yard line before a host of red shirts grabbed a hold of him.
That was a great play by Garrett Phillips, really holding on to one of the legs of the Tiger returner there.
Will Hills.
Giving the rest of the Lions defense time to make a play on that.
Now, did you tell me that Hills was 6'5"? He looks like a big dude.
Yeah, 6'5". It said that he was 180. 6'5", 180.
Wow. All right, so the Tigers set up shop at their own 34. Thompson under center. Fakes the handoff. He's looking deep. He's got a man wide open, but he's being pressured by Surface, and his throw is short and incomplete. Michael Surface, with very good pressure on Keller Thompson, forces the incompletion.
Heck of a play by Michael Surface to just keep pushing on and keep putting pressure on him and pushed him out for the loss of yards there.
Michael Surface is a physical specimen. If you've ever seen him bare-chested, he's about 6'4", and he weighs about 215 pounds, and he is indeed a physical specimen. So good play by Surface. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. I formation, 2 backs behind Thompson. He pitches to Caleb Jones, and Jones is hit, but he's not wrapped up. And when he spun out of it, he actually lost a couple of yards. He had advanced it about 2 yards, and when he tried to break away, he was tackled again right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like that was Giancarlo Belton on the tackle, number 28 there. So we have John Hill running out to take a break.
Lions spelling their defenders to keep these guys fresh against this rushing attack of Mount Pleasant. But right now they're set up in the 3rd and 10. Thompson will be under center, but you got to expect that they might go to the air on this play. See if they try to get Wilder around the end. It's a fake to Wilder. Thompson rolling right. He's looking downfield. He's got his man. And the reception is made by number 20, Junior Chavez. And that'll be a first down, Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, there's a good call, Bob, there on going to the air. They've been setting up for it most of the time, running down the middle, set up play action. And the QB runs out and makes a good play there.
That was
just on the
pretty good throw by Thompson that time, and
in between two line defenders. Yep.
Huge conversion for Mount Pleasant. And now the running back is stuffed over there on the far side by Johnson and John Hill. Looks like another loss of yardage. That was number 18, Tyson Minner, on the carry as their Mount Pleasant Tigers are mixing up their running backs, keep them fresh. I call it 2nd and 10. Tigers are setting up at the 49-yard line. Their own 49, and now timeout is taken by the Lions. I'm sorry, by the Tigers. So Mount Pleasant takes a timeout, 2nd and 10. First play of this particular, first play of this particular series just goes nowhere. Lions have had several stops for losses on this series.
Yeah, Bob, and with 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, there's still a lot of football to be played here, Bob.
All right, Rebecca wants us to check our batteries, but we got to keep talking, so hopefully the batteries will hold up.
Looks like the batteries are good to go so far, Bob.
All right, Mount Pleasant, 2nd and 10. Their own 49-yard line, 27-14. Lions lead. Thompson pitches. It's Minter again coming to the right side, and he's dragged out of bounds by Kenton Anderson. Picks up good yardage, however. Before he's forced out of bounds, clock continues to run. That's a 9-yard gain for Minter. 3rd and 1 for Mount Pleasant. Keller Thompson, junior quarterback. Strong left. Hand off to Jason Williams, and he is brought down immediately by Holly. No, that's Davian Wallace on the play. From his linebacker spot, Wallace makes a good hit, good penetration, and that is going to be short of a first down. They might measure, and they are. It's going to be close enough that the refs would like to take a closer look. So referees, officials, timeout for a measurement. We don't have our binoculars, so we're not sure whether or not Williams made that first down run or not.
I'm going to say it's short.
I'm tending to agree with you, Danny. They do have one down in their pocket, however. If it's short, they'll have fourth and whatever distance remains. They stretch it out, and it is fourth down. Looks like it's about 2 feet. Fourth, we'll call it a yard. See if the Lions jam up the box. They brought some extra beef in there. Number 52, who's not on our program, but who's a pretty good-sized guy. Looks like he's lining up at nose guard. And, you know, we haven't seen Jaden Champion tonight. We expected to see him, and he's not been in there. Here's a quarterback sneak by Thompson. And I have no idea whether or not he made that first down.
No idea, Bob. I just see a pile of football players there. Greenville Lions defense waving, saying there's no first down there.
Well, it was a good push by the Greenville defense, good penetration, but Thompson does squeeze out a first down. So Jaden Champion unable to go after we expected to see him tonight. I guess something happened in pre-game. All right, Thompson pitches. It's low. Running back takes it, and he's buried by Holly and a couple other red-shirted Greenville defenders on the far side.
Heck of a play from the Greenville Lions defensive line on the right side there, getting off their blocks to make a play there.
Caleb Jones on the carry and just nothing doing on the left side around the end. John Hill and his compatriots did a pretty good job of stretching that one out. 2nd and 11 for Mount Pleasant. One wide receiver split left. Hand off again to Jones. Jones is grabbed. Somebody hanging on the bottom.
Looks like Davian Wallace on that play. You might have seen a 37 there, Bob.
Might have been Garrett Phillips hanging on the leg of Jones there, or Jackson Cathy. Yeah, the play made by Garrett Phillips. A little bit gimpy getting up, but he brings down Jones after a gain of about 4. We'll call it 2nd and a long 5. I'm sorry, 3rd down. 3rd down, and we'll call it 6. 3rd and 6 for Mount Pleasant. Lions bunch up in the middle. Handoff to Jones. Now it's Wilder, and Wilder is up to the 30-yard line, and it's very close to a first down. This might require another measurement, Dan.
They might. Looks like they're short. The first down marker there right on the 30. The ball a little bit behind the 31 there.
Yeah, 4th and a very short. Looks like about 2 feet again, judging from the sticks over there on the far side of the field. All right, 4th down and very short for the Tigers. Thompson gets it. He hands off, and Surface has got him. Oh, my goodness, what a play by Michael Surface. He stops the runner, Minter, in his tracks, and I think that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Lions.
Heck of a play from Michael Surface.
Wow.
He's been expecting it. There. They ran a little bit outside. The inside hole there was blown up, so they had to take a little bit outside, and Michael Surface was waiting for it.
That's a pretty generous spot. They're going to bring the chains in. I thought he was stopped well short of the stick.
He definitely stopped well short of the stick. The stick was right on the 30, unless they moved it back. But it was right on the 30.
It's a big play by now. And in fact, no gain on the play. The Lions take over. What a stand by Greenville's defense at the 31-yard line. Let's see if that fires up the offense now.
David was right, Bob. It looks like a completely different team than we're seeing from last week. They're getting their tackles, they're getting off their blocks. And they're doing a heck of a job.
22 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter of a 27-14 game. Greenville in front. Brandon Stevens fakes a handoff. No, he gives it. Is that Otigus Johnson? He's trying to get loose. And Otigus is spun down after probably no gain. Johnson's more of a scat back than Pitts. He's not nearly as big as Junebug. And if we can get him in the open field, he is dangerous. But Greenville unable to do that as the quarter comes to an end. Danny and I will take a short break. Score Greenville 27, Mount Pleasant 14 with 1 quarter remaining in this contest. We'll be right back. All right, back live now. Greenville takes over. Turnover on downs. Great job by Greenville's defense. Brandon Stevens, he's got Johnson and Denson in the backfield. Fakes, gives to Denson now, and Denson is just picked up and slaughtered. Wow, formed tackles that time by 2 defenders, Anthony Jeffrey and Bo Nesbitt from Mount Pleasant. And those guys, they were angry on that tackle.
Yeah, and it looks like Denson a little shaken up. He looks like he's limping right now, right on the about 22, and he's gonna run out of the field right now. And they're
Replaced
Zadarian
by
Tyson.
Zy Tyson, yeah.
Zy Tyson coming in.
So Tyson, Johnson, and Davis, we'll call it, split out left. Sean Brown down here to the right. 3rd down and 12. He's looking for Brown, and he's got him. Brown at the 50, 35, 40, and he's brought down on a shoestring tackle by Devin Smith inside the 40-yard line. Nice completion by Brandon Stevens. And once again, Sean Brown comes up with a big play.
And that's their sweet spot play there. Every time Stevens has thrown to Sean Brown there, he's made a reception and he's made a heck of a play off that.
By this time he hands off. It's Hugh Pitts. Pitts hit hard at the 19-yard line and brought down, but that's going to be another Greenville first down. And check it, that was O.J. Johnson.
That was O.J. Johnson on the hit to Hugh Pitts, but Junebug got back up and he's ready to go.
2 consecutive first downs on back-to-back plays for the Lions. 10:47 remaining. 24-yard line of Mount Pleasant. Stevens hands to Johnson, and Johnson is hit immediately. No gain.
Yeah, it looks like we have the big boys there, number 99 and number 53 there to make the play. That 99, that's Trey Emery right there.
Big old Trey is doing his thing on defense down there.
Mr. 6'2", 285, Bob.
Hugh Pitts replaces Odegus Johnson in the backfield with Brandon Stevens. Kai Tyson still out to the left. Benson still not back on the field. Pitts takes the handoff, and he moves forward for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Call it 7 yards. 3rd and 7 for the Lions. Denson back in the game. Zy Tyson being replaced. Denson still a little bit gimpy as he moves to the slot on the left side. Sean Brown down here, single receiver to the right. Pitts and Stevens in the backfield. Denson in motion. He gives it to Denson. Denson throws. Oh, he had Sean Brown wide open, and he just rushed the throw.
Yeah, Denson definitely just rushed the throw. I don't even think he planted when he threw that. He looks like he just threw it off the run. I don't even think there's any kind of pressure there, Bob. I think
he's patting himself on the chest. He knows that he had a touchdown in his pocket. He just didn't make a good throw. So a little bit antsy on that play by Denson. Of course, he's coming back on the field after being injured. So anyway, 4th down. Denson and Pitts in the backfield with Stevens. They need about 8. He's looking downfield. He's got a man.
That's touchdown,
Caleb
Bob.
Johnson. He holds on to it for a touchdown. He was covered pretty closely by one of the defenders.
That's Greenville Lions dancing down the end zone.
And now they get a penalty for celebration. Caleb Johnson in the back of the end zone juggled that thing.
Juggled it off the catch there, Bob, but he held it down. As he kept hold on to it as he fell down for the touchdown, Bob. Heck of a play by there by Caleb Johnson. Is running down the sideline.
Just a straight fly pattern, just straight down the middle. And a nice, easy lob throw by Stevens. Johnson runs under it for the touchdown.
It's a good placement there by Stevens there, Bob.
Absolutely. Stevens has been on target quite a bit tonight. He's had a good game through the air. As Brandon Stevens, the senior quarterback. Score stands 33-14 right now as we await the extra point attempt. Out of the hole to Garrett Phillips. Archer O'Neill. McCallum will be the snapper. McCallum doing a great job on defense and the deep snaps today. Snap is good, the hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. 34-14, the Lions lead by 20 with 9 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Bob, I sound like a broken record, but I mean we're seeing the same thing. Control. They're making the stop on defense and answering that with the touchdown, Bob. We've seen that about 3 times now, and looks like a completely different team than last week, Bob. They were missing tackles last week, not very consistent on offensive line and defensive line, and whatever happened at practice, it worked. And this, I'm liking the look of this Greenville Lions defense, Bob.
I think Coach had a come to Jesus meeting with the boys this week because they are definitely playing hard. And we're looking down at the sidelines. You know, we talked about Jen Champion not being able to go tonight. He's taking his pads off, and he and Wade Moses, the offensive guard who was hurt earlier, are both in street clothes down there. So we've still not seen Jaden Champion. Hopefully he'll be ready for Ennis next week, and maybe Moses will be back too. All right, so after the celebration penalty, the Lions will kick off from their 25-yard line. So Mount Pleasant will get good field position. O'Neill kicks it deep. It's taken, bounces at the 30, taken there, up the field, still going, and brought down. Nice tackle on the far side by Belton of the Lions kick coverage team.
And the Lions will start on their 40-yard line with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Lions are winning 34-14 over the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
And we have a penalty on the field, Danny. The referees are huddled up trying to decide what to call. John Carlos Belton with the coverage, and Darren Duke is coming onto the field with a man with a plan. It looks like he is not happy. He is not happy at all, and he's being sent off the field by the head referee. Something's going on that he doesn't like.
We got Coach coming in to get Coach Duke, help him.
I think that might be Coach Dobbins, the defensive coordinator.
Hard to tell from up here. We left our binoculars at home, right, Bob?
Yeah, I think it's Danny Cobbin. I'm sorry, it's not Dobbins, it's Danny Cobbin. So the penalty more than likely will be marked off against the Lions. Let's just wait and see here. Referee's currently standing with the ball on the Mount Pleasant 40-yard line where the receiver was brought down.
And they're calling it an unsportsmanlike conduct.
But they're not marking off any yardage. So
Maybe on both sides of the ball.
I guess possibly, or they just picked up the flag. Okay, here we go. Mount Pleasant, first down. Hand off to Wilder around the right side. He's got some running room. He's brought down over there by 2 Lion defenders after a pickup of about 6.
And that was Kadarian Johnson there on the tackle. Good form tackle, really set his feet and didn't jump the gun there and just let the Tiger receiver come to him.
2nd and 4 for Mount Pleasant. 8:48 and the clock running. They trail 34-14. Baker Peterson back into the game now at quarterback as the shuffle continues for Mount Pleasant. Senior quarterback takes a snap, rolls to his left, has a man, and he overshoots number 13.
That's Will Hills.
Big Will Hills.
That's 6'4". He threw over the 6'4" receiver, Bob.
It's tough to do, Danny. That guy's a big guy, and you still missed him. Peterson has not had a good night through the air. Hasn't been accurate. Thompson has done a much better job throwing, but I guess Coach wants to get Peterson some reps. All right, we'll call it 3rd and 4. Peterson rolls right, looks downfield, has his man, and it is caught right at the sidelines. Nice reception over there by Mount Pleasant.
That looks like Will Hill. I think that's 13, number 13. Yep.
Hill switching sides that time. Makes a good reception. Nice throw by Peterson. Give him credit. Converts the first down. Ball is placed at the 46-yard line of Greenville. Clock running. Should be running. Handoff to Jones. Jones is being wrestled down by Davion Wallace. Jones picks up about 4 yards, however.
Josh Luna with the blitz there. May have blitzed in a little too quick. He got blocked outside and opened up a hole for the Tigers running back to run through and get that gain off of.
Well, run blitz is not necessarily a bad idea, and that may have resulted in several lost yardage for Mount Pleasant tonight on their run game. Peterson rolls right, has a man, incomplete, well covered that time.
Is that Jeremiah McCullum, Bob?
I think it was McCallum.
Yep,
McCallum's really coming up big. In fact, let's credit the defensive secondary coach, Alex Contreras. He's really got his guys covering well, tackling well, and those are the two key aspects of playing a defensive secondary position. All right, 3rd and 6. It's a long 6. Peterson takes the snap, rolls right, looking deep. He throws deep, and the ball is broken up. That looked like McCrumbie down there, and he was in double coverage. Phillips and maybe Davion Wallace way back there.
Kadarian Johnson on that. He batted the ball down.
Nice job by the Greenville secondary again. A 4th down and long now for Mount Pleasant, and they've got to go for it.
Definitely, Bob. With 7 minutes and 36 seconds left to play here in this 4th quarter of the game, Greenville Lions up 34-14 over the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
See if we can get some pressure on Peterson this time. 4th and 6. Williams in the backfield with Peterson, shifts to the right. He's flaring right. Peterson under pressure, gets it out to Williams, and Williams is handcuffed immediately by McCallum. Good pressure that time by several of the Greenville defenders. That was Jones, Surface, and Maps all pressuring Peterson into that quick throw. And though it was complete, it was immediately defended by McCallum.
Yeah, and good tackle there by those three. Shook up Baker Peterson, the quarterback, number 10. Slow to get up from the play.
So a turnover on downs, and the Lions take over at the 44-yard line. Hand off to Pitts. He stutter steps, and now there's a stoppage. It looks like a procedure penalty is going to be called against the Lions. So that'll set him back 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 with 7:27 remaining.
Yep, they called offsides on the Greenville Lions offense.
Caleb Johnson split wide left. Denson and Sean Brown out to the right. They'll probably go with the H-back in there. That's Emiliano Portillo. So they'll go with the power package. Portillo to the right. Stevens hands to Pitts. Pitts going left and tried to get the corner. And Greg just couldn't make the block, and Pitts is brought down for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, it looks like Caleb Jones on the tackle there. Good job getting off his block to make the play there on the outside. And just like that, it is
Third and a bunch.
third in a bunch, Bob. 7 minutes left with the clock winding down.
Yeah, we'll call it 17. Second and 17 for the Lions. Pitch is to Pitts. He cuts it back. He's hit hard at the 39-yard line, leans forward to the 41. Pickup of about 4 yards.
That was almost bad, Bob. Pitts tackler barely missed Pitts in the backfield, and he was able to make a good play out of something that could have ended very badly.
Pitts has had a good night, as Dave Claiborne mentioned. He had a real good first half, and despite that loss on the play a moment ago, he's gotten positive yardage here in the second half as well. All right, so 3rd and 12. Stevens rolls left, comes back to his right. He's looking deep. He's got Brown down there. Oh, and Brown is defended and can't hang on. At the 15-yard line, a very good job of defense there by Lane Pinkert.
Yeah, Brown caught it right off the body of the defensive cornerback there. Looks like Brown might be a little shaken up there.
I think he's more unhappy that he couldn't make that play. He just about makes everything else, but that time Pinkert did a really good job of swatting that ball out of Brown's hands. So, punting formation for the Lions. Josh Luna is deep. Snap is good. Luna is rushed, but he gets it off. It's a shorter kick. It bounds at the 30-yard line. Hunter Waters is going to down it as it comes back out to the 32. So the Lions turn it back over to Mount Pleasant with a 20-point lead and 5 minutes and 57 seconds remain. We've had a lot to talk about tonight. I'm getting kind of hoarse, Dan.
Same here, Bob. And it's been a tough battle on both sides of the ball here, but the Greenville Lions defense have really outshined the Mount Pleasant offense.
All right, Peterson hands off to Wilder. Wilder straight up the middle, pushing the Lions back. He picks up, looks like about 7 yards. And that actually was Williams. Williams wears number 4. Wilder wears number 14. And they're built about the same. And I'm having a lot of trouble identifying them.
Yeah, the numbers look really small from up here, Bob.
All right, Baker Peterson, senior quarterback, now with 2nd and 3. He's looking deep. Kenton Anderson almost intercepted that ball intended for McCrumbly. Nice coverage by Kenton Anderson.
Great coverage from Kenton Anderson. Went up for the ball, but just couldn't hold on to it coming down.
Another good play by Greenville secondary. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3 for Mount Pleasant. They're operating from their own 38-yard line. You think it's 4-down territory for the Tigers?
I do, Bob.
All right, we'll see. Peterson takes it. Will he need 4th down? Oh. Williams moves forward. It looks like he may have a 1st down.
Yeah, they definitely got the 1st down off that. Open hole up the middle.
Didn't make it by much, but well, let's make it see.
Is the ball behind the line?
Maybe there was a penalty on the play. I saw the linesman on the far side holding his wrist like a holding call.
Nope.
Now they're moving the chains. So as we first suspected, it is a 1st down for the Tigers. These refs are confusing us tonight, Danny.
Yeah, they are. There's a bunch of mixed signals from the referees tonight. Thankfully, the head ref is there to clear the air.
All right, got slot receivers on both sides. Peterson straight drop back, looking downfield. Now he's pressured and he's brought down. Nice play that time by John Hill. Big sack by the junior defensive end.
Big sack, and Jalen Williams there, the running back to the left of Peterson, missed the block and let John Hill come in and rush that.
John Hill, I watched him play a lot of JV games last year, and that's his specialty. He loves to get after the quarterback. Maybe his first sack of the year. All right, Peterson now at 2nd and 12. Hill pressuring again, and Grigsby, and that ball is intercepted. Kenton Anderson down the near sideline.
Hold on to the ball.
Going. Knocked out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
And Grigsby with the massive pressure there to knock the quarterback off his back foot, throwing the ball off his back foot. Looks like we have number 13 there. Will Hills injured on the play. They're stretching him out right now on the 50-yard line. Heck of a play.
I think Hills was the intended receiver, and Peterson overshot him again, and Anderson was there to pick it off, and at about the 45, and he advanced it some 30 or 40 yards down to the Mount Pleasant 11-yard line. Another turnover created by the defensive secondary.
And that's the second turnover of this game, and I think it's the second turnover of the season. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 2 turnovers, most turnovers this season so far.
Well, there have been a lot of them. I've kind of lost track. There's been at least 3 that the Greenville Lions have gotten, and I think they've turned it over twice.
Oh, it looks like they have a turnover chain down on the sideline. You ever heard of that, Bob? Turnover chain?
No, that's a new one on me.
Yeah, they do that a lot in college. I'll explain it to you in a bit.
All right, Joe Galley is in for the Lions, and he hands off to Odegus Johnson, and Johnson moves down to the 1-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. And it's a hold against the Lions. Looks like the Lions have some of their backups in the game, and Johnson made a nice run, but somebody had a hold of too much white shirt.
It looks like they have backup quarterback Joseph Goulet there.
Tell me about the turnover chain.
All right, so turnover chain, it's a thing they started in college football. Basically, the turnover, they make a chain, you know, like the Miami started, University of Miami started it. They make a chain. Basically, if you make a big turnover play that, you know, the biggest play of the game, they give you that chain. You wear it during the game on the sideline. Yeah, if you look at Kenton Anderson down on the side of the field, he's wearing it right now if he turns towards us.
Super. All right. 2nd and 20. Again, the handoff to Johnson, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Well, Coach Duke told me before the season started that one of his best athletes is Kenton Anderson. And Anderson made a really nice play returning that interception and setting the Lions up with good field position. Unfortunately, we've gone backwards, but with 3:16 remaining, the Lions in a 20-point lead, in control. 2nd and 20. Gillette takes and he's looking deep, and he throws deep, and there's a flag. That was intended for number 20 for the Lions, and we don't have his identification.
Yeah, it might be a JV guy moved up for this game. Oh, well, number 20, Dayton Maps.
Well, actually, Coach James told me that Maps is actually wearing 16 now, so I'm sorry I don't know who 20 is.
Okay.
Our apologies. Galay's throw was a little bit long, but the defender might have had a hold of the receiver. Let's see what the call is. Defensive holding. All right, so it's not an interference call. It's a holding call.
Yeah, he held him up on the 10 there and tripped him up.
I don't think that results in a first down in high school. Do you know? Let's just wait and see.
No, it looks like they moved it up. They're about a yard short of the first down. Oh, no, they're not. Sorry.
10-yard penalty.
It's 1st and 10 now.
And it is a first down. All right, Galay now with Johnson. Hands to Johnson. Johnson tries to get loose, but he's smothered for a loss.
Don't know why he cut back there. He should have just kind of kept going. Anytime you run east and west, it doesn't result.
Well, he's that kind of a runner. He tries to use his speed. He's not a between the tackles kind of guy, and that play was really designed to be that way. But now moving into the offensive backfield is one of our defensive stars, Kadarian Johnson. So Johnson's going to get a little play on offense. Zach Pitts, I'm sorry, Hugh Pitts back in the game. Where'd I get Zach Pitts from?
Not sure. Not sure.
There's a Zach Pitts in my mind somewhere. All right, Kadarian Johnson is in motion. He gets the handoff. Not much doing there. Lions second unit struggling a little bit here on offense. You know, I don't think we've seen much of Caleb Leah on offense tonight like we expected. I think Coach decided to keep him fresh for next week.
I think that was the right decision there, Bob.
Yeah, didn't really need him because the Lions' offensive line has done a super job.
Done a superb job tonight.
Okay, so we've got 3rd and 11 for the Lions at the 16-yard line. DeLay rolls left. He's got an open man. It's Denson, and Denson makes the reception, but short of first down yardage. And maybe that's Zy Tyson. Guy Tyson wears number 9, looks like a 3. So a nice reception for Tyson. 4th down, and the Lions are going to attempt a field goal. The ball is going to be spotted at the 19-yard line. That'll make this a 29-yard attempt. So let's see if O'Neill's got enough leg for this one. And he gets underneath it, and it's short. Worth a try.
Worth a try with a minute left on the clock, Bob.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose there.
That's the first field goal that's been attempted this year. We had a fake field goal attempt last week, which was unsuccessful. And now we see some of the other younger guys getting a chance to do some defensive work with just a shade under a minute remaining. Got Landon Craven on the field. Krishan Guster. And the Lions are going to take a timeout and get their younger guys together for this defensive set. I think they were a man short that time.
Looked like it, Bob, and with a minute left on the clock and the crowds funneling out to the stadium, it's been a pretty good game here for these Greenville Lions, don't you think?
I'd say better than pretty good.
Better than we might have expected.
Better than pretty good. Oh, much more than we expected. I don't think last week we expected to lose. This week, I'm not sure we expected to win, but not only have the Lions performed in a winning fashion, they've pretty much dominated Mount Pleasant tonight.
Dominated on both sides of the ball here, Bob, tonight.
All right, so the handoff looks like Minter up the middle, and Guster's in on part of the tackle. Hill back into the game, replacing Maps. Big number 74 for the Lions is in there. I'm sorry, that's 64. Jevin Sharber on the defensive tackle. Peterson throws right, has his receiver in a flat pass. He's loose going down the far sideline, and he's brought down at the 48-yard line by a host of red-shirted Lions. First down, Mount Pleasant. 17 seconds remaining. Clock stopped for moving the chains. More reserves getting an opportunity to play on that defensive line for Greenville. Peterson hands off once again. It's Minter around the left side. Guster's got a hold of him, gets a little help from Davian Wallace. And that's the ball game. The game ends with Mount Pleasant on the Greenville 43-yard line. But they're short 20 points. The Lions win here at T.A. Cotton Ford Stadium on a nice night for football by a score of 34-14. Danny and I will take a break, and we'll be back in 1 minute to give you a recap of this Lion victory. Be right back.
Quick recap.
Bob Muty and Danny Hernandez back here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium after a Greenville victory 34-14. It's interesting, we watched the two teams. Normally they cross at midfield and shake hands. Well, one team was at the 45 and the other team was at the other 45, and they were just kind of giving it the air shake, I guess. The new normal. No touching, got to do the social distancing.
Yeah, but Greenville right now hand in hand as they sing the school song after a great victory here at TA Cotton Ford Stadium. Been a heck of a game, Bob, and a lot of the game notes we had, going into the game preview were right. Coach did a great job preserving Caleb Jones for for specifically offense, and it worked out well tonight. We saw that Coach emphasized tackling this week at practice, and it worked out well for them.
No question. Yeah, Caleb Johnson got his first touchdown of the year, I think, at least on a pass reception, and that was something that Coach Duke, as you said, had hoped for by using Johnson exclusively on offense tonight. So the defense performed well, and the offense did what they needed to do with some long plays, long runs, and long passes. Sean Brown again with an outstanding night. Brandon Stevens did a really nice job through the air and had a really nice 25-yard touchdown run.
Miles Denson with some great plays down the outside, running, getting, just doing what he does best, and just outrunning guys and outmaneuvering guys.
Yeah, and Junebug Pitts had it coming out tonight. Don't know what his final totals were. We tried to check with David Claiborne to get some final stats, but he's wrapping up his work over there in his studio. So we'll leave you with a really good feeling about this team going into the district opener next week against Ennis. So we'll be down there in Ennis for our first away broadcast, and hopefully Rebecca will be able to get things set up technically with internet service down there in Ennis so that we can bring you this broadcast live streamed on YouTube. This is a commitment that GEUS has made to the community to provide a service in covering Greenville Lion athletics, and I'm really thankful that Kami Williams and Rebecca and Danny and I have had an opportunity to make this production work for you guys.
It's been fun watching this team grow game by game. We're seeing them improve. Step for step, they're improving. Little things here and there. It's fun to watch them improve. It's fun to watch them, play throughout the season. It's been a tough year for pretty much everybody, so it's nice to take a break from it all and watch some Friday Night Lights and get back to some kind of feeling of normal.
More fun than a barrel of monkeys here at TA Ford Cotton Stadium tonight as the Greenville Lions down the visiting Mount Pleasant Tigers by a score of 34-14. That's it for Juice 34 for Danny and Rebecca. This is Bob Muty saying have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next Friday.